tackling pest. Let's not call him a pest though, but, you know, in and like hard man, that Jacob Townsend role in close, you know.
Tackling machine.
I think he's leading tackler, one of the leading tacklers for the year. Right, but he won't touch it much, but he just normally he'll probably go to Will Martin.
Oh, you reckon? Yeah, Murdoch on Martin.
Probably.
Possibly.
Like even that sound, I feel like I'll still be able to concentrate on what I'm talking about. What about you?
Yeah, no. It's can't hear anything going through the ears yet.
Not yet, yeah.
So
even just like this, it feels like I'll be able to keep talking.
no, you're right. I got that stuffed up.
Live or test?
Oh, we're good to go. We're good to go live when you.
Okay, we'll just. We're live now.
Just in another minute, we can turn the mics up, and then we'll start our intro. Is that okay? Yep. Okay. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to preliminary final QAFL action here, coming from the Shark Tank up at Redland-Victoria Point between the Redland-Victoria Point Sharks and the Wilston Grange Gorillas. My name's Kane Browning. I'm joined in the combox by Adrian Richardson. Good afternoon, Richo.
Good afternoon, Kane. What a beautiful day we've got here today. So we've got Redland-Victoria Point just entering the ground there through the banner. Fantastic day for footy. Wilston Grange already out on the ground warming up. I think everyone's on edge a little bit today, Kane. The energy in and the excitement in the air, you could just about cut through it with a knife, I reckon.
No, you're definitely right, Richo. And a few possible milestones coming up possibly during this game. You've got, obviously, Matty Hamilman, 94 goals for season 2023. Looking at trying to kick the 6 goals required for 100 for the year. Massive achievement. If he can get it done this week, he'd probably prefer to do it at his home deck. But obviously, if they win the game, and he's got a couple to go next week in a grand final, he'll be ready and raring to go next week. So you've got the countdown board on the far side of the ground. They're not letting us take that one down, so thank you very much. Just trying to get my hearing back. So, yeah, it should be interesting to see if Hamilman can kick the 6 goals required to kick 100 this over.
Yeah, it's been the talk of the morning, I think, here at Totally Workwear Park, Kane. The Redland-Victoria Reserve boys up there look to have erected their own little fan base, which is fantastic. They'll keep us honest, making sure we're riding down the goals to the right players. But, it's very exciting. Whether he does it this week or next week, always good to have a 100-goal kicker. 100-goal kicker in a season. So really looking forward to that.
And young Joshua Brown, right on the verge for kicking 50 goals for the season as well. Richo, he's on goal number 49 for the year. So you've got Hamilman up top, waiting for the 6 to kick, and you've got young Brown hopefully getting that one this afternoon to notch 50 for the year, which is a massive achievement for the young man.
Correct. There's certainly been the 1-2 punch in the competition, the tall and the small forward working together. And in contrast to that, at the other end of the ground, we got the complete opposite with Wilston Grange. They've got a number of avenues to go, as they've proven over the last few weeks, particularly since the finals have started. Lockie Rook kicked 7 against Surfers in the first final. Then last week, young Jake Fazeldine comes out and kicks 5, along with Billy Richardson and young Mick Fadgen, both assisting him with 3. So 3 each. And then we haven't talked about Hugh Fiddler, who's been their leading goal kicker throughout the year. So he's always dangerous. And also, I'm missing one there, Dirksen, Zach Dirksen, who's been injured for a lot of the year as well, but only got back on the park the last few weeks, and he probably hasn't hit his straps yet. So certainly a number of avenues to go there for Wilston Grange, and it'll be a focus of Redland-Victoria Point to shut those down, I would have thought.
Well, you look at it, I mean, there was a real turn in momentum last week. There was a deliberate rush behind against Broadbeach right on the goal square. It was clearly a deliberate rush behind. All of a sudden slowed the momentum. Broadbeach were in cruise control at that stage. And then all of a sudden it was a Fazeldine show. The young man, you look at this, it's a ridiculous stat. 11 of the 14 goals kicked last week against Broadbeach were from three players under the age of 18. So as far as the youth policy is concerned, their development has come leaps and bounds, especially this season.
It certainly has.
It's a ridiculous stat. They had no chance of winning halfway through that last quarter. That last 10 minutes was just pure heart, pure desperation, and they got over the line. And the best thing about it is the 2 finals they've played, they've done it both ways. They had a really good start against Surfers Paradise. Surfers Paradise got back in the game, tried to chase them down. And last week they were behind by 3 or 4 goals going in the last quarter, and they came back and won. So they've got 2 avenues where they can win games.
Kids don't get locked down with the stats and all those sort of things. They just bring the energy, and here we are ready to commence play today. Really looking forward to it. Fantastic.
Well, here we go. Ready and raring to go for the prelim final. As the ball gets bounced up, both ruckmen go up. Probably no clear winner on that occasion. Looks like Wilston Grange is going to get the first clearance, but the kick's gone straight to number 35. in Hambleton. Hambleton, not the best of kicks. McFadden had the ball, handballed it back, chipped down the line. That's okay. Speaking of Fazaldine, there he is. Fazaldine now chips towards half forward. That's good ball movement. Chips inside 50, 1-on-1. Good punch away. Ball rolls over for the first boundary throw in.
Yeah, good to see Dirksen get his hands on the ball early there. Nice kick into Rook there, but well defended by Stallard in the back line there. Looking at the other end of the ground, we got the young Patrick Snell looking like he's lined up on Hamilman, which that'll be a very interesting contest. And alongside him, Harry Wilson with the other Redland-Vic gun goal kicker there on Josh Brown.
Quick snap on goal, 1-on-1 contest. Ball gets over the back, rolls through for the first score of the afternoon. Wilston Grange has got the lead, one solitary behind. Redland-Victoria point yet to score.
We spoke about this before the game, wondering what role Dean Benson would play this week. He shut down, or not shut down, but he played a defensive role on Liam Dawson last week at Aspley. He's lined up on Daniel Bowles today. Oh,
crunching contact. Rolls got it. Got caught holding the ball. Advantage paid. Little chip inside 50. Trying to get rid of the footy. That's a great tackle. No holding the ball. Play on, says the umpire. The tackling pressure is up early for both these sides. It's good to see. We're probably 40 metres out from the Wilston Grange goal, early stages of the first quarter.
Rook lucky to get away with that one. Could have easily been paid against.
Richardson and Williams in the ruck contest there. Williams got the tap out, looking for Brock Aston. Couldn't get possession of the footy. Ball rolling around. Umpire comes in, says that someone got tripped. Free kick to the Sharks in the right forward pocket. Ruben William, cross half back's got possession of the footy. Not a lot of options here. Decides to go to the far outside wing. Ball hits a deck. Numbers are probably with Grange. Blind turn. Just a hack kick forward. Williams goes over the top. Goes bang with the fist. Ball rolling around. Here come the Sharks now. Turn the ball over in a dangerous spot though. Look at that ball rolling around. Here come the Sharks through their handball game. Chips the ball down. Wilston Grange has got the ball back though. Huddy, that kick behind the ball, the big man, takes a good mark, kicks towards half forward. No one at home for the Sharks though. Mark
Bowles.
Taken by number 22 in Bowles. Bowles goes for the switch. Baker's got the ball, the captain. Baker goes in board. That's a brilliant kick. That's Nixon Smith. Nixon Smith chips the ball, number 7. That's Hugh Fiddler. Fiddler, probably too far out to score, almost played on. Man on the marks at probably 2 steps inside 50 here, but he looks pretty confident in front of goal.
Yeah, I think he's got the journey here. He is he's their leading goal kicker for the year. He's up close to the, I think, in the 40s, but he's certainly a good kick.
Fiddler launches a bomb right to the goal line. Ball hits a deck. Who's there? The Sharks are. They rush the ball over for a minor score. 2-point lead is Wilston Grange. That's a dangerous kick out from full back, but free kick, says the umpire. Pretty solid contact.
Yeah, Huddy just able to get back on the line there. It was a good kick off the boot from Fiddler, but it's showing that from 50 it's going to be a tough journey there today.
1-on-1 contest. Good diving mark there by Matthews. Probably about 80 out. Looking for Hamilman. Not the best of kicks. Ball rolls over for a boundary throw-in. Right forward pocket for the Sharks. First time they've been inside 50 for the afternoon. Need to get the matchups right here at this boundary throw-in. Packout got the tap out. Ball rolling around. Richardson's in there as well. Ball gets locked up. Gordon's there. One possession, but got tackled.
Lamana Pacquiao doing what he does. Just grabs the ball out of the ruck. Wins the clearance.
Yagmore's back here as well. Huddy just a kick behind the play. Wilston Grange, good smother. Snap on goal. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Kept it in though. Could be holding the ball. No, says the umpire. No prior opportunity. bit of push and shove. Looks like a nice little bear hug there between players.
Yeah, no, good shot of goal there from Annabelle, the young fella from Redland-Victoria Point. But again, Patrick Snell just goalkeeping and keeping it out of the goal line.
Pack out, took possession out of the ruck. Couldn't get it to a teammate, though. Look at the numbers for the Sharks, though. Here come Wilson Grange out of trouble. Just a hack kick. Huddy's trying to get back there. Can't get there. Bowl rolling right in front of us here on the broadcast side. Another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, Will Martin getting his hands dirty early, doing a bit of work inside. He hasn't had the hands on the ball all that often, but just then got the quick handball out, which was able to release his Gorillas players. Murdoch Martin's attracted Murdoch's attention there, as we thought may happen.
Brock Aston and Rosenbrook matching up as well. Umpire says play on here. Wilson Grange trying to get through the traffic. Brock Aston ended up with it to Rolls. Here comes Rolls once more, going inside 50, looking for Hamilman. Good front on play there by the Wilson Grange defence. Ball rolling around across half forward. Ball's probably going to get locked up. No, ball comes out. Here's a chance for Campbell Aston. Little chip. Gets intercepted. Umpire said play on. Must have been touched off the boot. Kick out wide. That's a pretty smart kick. Ends up in the hands of Nixon Smith.
Yeah, I reckon Patrick Snell's got his hands on the ball about 6 times already. He's cutting off the angles of Hamilman, and he's reading the ball well at the moment.
William laying a good tackle. That little hack kick's out on the full. That was brilliant by Reuben William out there. Laid a brilliant tackle.
He's injured himself, though. He's just recovering.
And that's not the best of kicks. Looking for Hamilman once more inside 50. That's out on the full as well. We're going kick for kick here.
It's an exciting game early. Both teams getting their hands on the ball. Obviously not on the scoreboard yet. But
shocking kick. Ends up in the hands of Rolls right on half forward. Couldn't get the ball clear. Again, they're trying to use handball to get out of trouble. Huddy drops a mark he probably should have taken. Ball rolling around once more. Look at the congestion here. No one wants to take a backward step. William is there. Get the handball out into the corridor. Oh, bang! What a hit. Johnson. Umpire comes in for a stoppage. That was massive contact in the middle of the ground.
He did. The Wilson Grange player thought he was out, and before you knew it, Johnston was
right on his hammer.
Right on him.
Aston got the handball out. Little chip towards half forward.
Rolls
again. He's had a bit of the footy early. Again, great kick inside 50. As the crowd goes wild right in front of the scoreboard over there. Got the placards ready and raring to go.
Yeah, Josh Brown. This could be the first milestone for the game.
Josh Brown looking for goal number 50 for the year. Look at those supporters on that far side running to the fence line.
I hope they're aware that they don't jump the fence for the 50.
They don't jump the fence for the 50?
No, that's not a thing, that is.
Brown now. Line up for goal 50 for season 2023. Is it accurate? It's not going to get there. Hamilman got hand a ball, but the ball got pushed through for a minor score. Wilson Grange, 2 straight behinds, 2 points.
Yep.
That's the first score for the Sharks, 1 straight behind.
And as you called Kane, Jack Rolls, I reckon he's already had half a dozen touches. He's getting his hands on the ball. They really need that run out of the back line. They lacked it last week against Aspley, so they need guys like Hambleton and Reuben William and others.
Here we go. Here's a chance for Wilson Grange. Kick for goal. This could be the first goal of the afternoon. Yes, it is. Fazaldine again. I got tongue twisted there. I wasn't quite sure who it was. Fazaldine, first goal of the afternoon.
Look, a great finish from the young fella again. He's, picking up where he left off last week. But just going back, it was Will Martin who delivered the ball. If he gets a lot of touches today, Will Martin, the Gorilla, that'll go a long way towards the Gorillas getting over the line. He is just all class when he gets his hands on it.
Well, the thing was, too, Williams got dragged up the ground, tried to impact the contest, didn't get hand on ball. Ball got over the back, and all of a sudden, Fazaldine had the overlap, running inside 50.
Yeah, the classic, set up structure, defensive zone behind the ball, but all it takes is a bad bounce or a bit of a dirty kick, which happened, and certainly you find one out the back most times.
Munn was brilliant there. That kick to Fazaldine was really good. Umpire's going to recall that ball up. And again, Fazaldine. And it looks like Ruben William is lined up on Fazaldine, so that's a really interesting match. I'll keep a close eye on that one. As Wilson Grange look to get the next clearance, and they do. Speaking of Fazaldine, he's ducked back inside 50 here. Bit of a fumble. Here's a chance for the Sharks to get out of trouble. Spin tackle. Umpire comes in. Another stoppage. Just forward of centre for the Wilson Grange Gorillas. As Baker looks to be that spare man behind the footy. Brock Aston tried to get ball on boot. Drags it back in. Good shepherd there by the Sharks. Umpire says a trip as the Sharks look to go inside 50. No, it's a free kick to Wilson Grange.
The other way, yep.
Hamilton took the mark too, about 40 metres out.
No, I think it was his offside of Brown, but it was Rolls. It was Rolls who got it to him. So
Rolls again.
But yeah, no, all for nothing.
Bit of a mismatch. Williams comes out from centre half back, takes an easy chest mark. Goes out wide.
And I think that'll be interesting today. Billy Richardson, obviously, Williams manning him up. Billy's really got to make sure that he doesn't allow Williams to just pick off the forward entries. He's got to contest every time.
Kick down the line, got over the back, rolling towards that boundary line in the hands of a Wilson Grange player there. Launches the ball back down the line. All the numbers with the Sharks. Good mark taken. Number 15.
35, Hambleton.
35, Hambleton. Thank you very much, Richard. Now, what's going on here? No, free kick.
I think Hambleton's the only ponytail out there from what I can see today.
Well, it's good to see someone's got hair, because I
Correct.
know I don't. As the ball comes out to Campbell Aston. He's had a really good year on that wing. To Huddy. Ends up back in Campbell Aston's hands. Chipped towards Hamilton. 2-on-1 contest. Good effort by all players concerned. Ball gets punched over the line for another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, Bowles came in from front on there, keeping his eye on the ball, but he came in to help out the young Snell on Hamilton. So obviously that's been discussed by the Gorillas' defensive coach.
No ruck contest here for the Sharks. No one got there. Punched the ball clear in the hands of a Shark. Little chip off the side of the boot, out on the full. We're on this broadcast side between wing and half forward for the Sharks.
So we're good contest up the Grange forward line. Will Martin's just having a rest at full forward. We've got Mitch Stallard manning him up.
Geez, another
State
juicy
squad
contest.
Player. 2 state squad players.
Geez, no pressure at all between those two. That's a push in the back, says the umpire. It's going to go to McFadden. Screaming through the middle of the ground towards half forward. That's a great mark.
Will Martin.
Will Martin. He's one of the best players in the comp, one-on-one in a marking contest. Very unlikely going to get beat one-on-one in a marking contest is Will Martin.
I think he's one of the best players in the comp, full stop.
Well, we can. I'm not arguing that point either. But what I've seen, a very, very good one-on-one, and that's exactly the way they wanted the Wilson Grange Gorillas.
Yeah, he did the early work there, and it was almost uncontested.
Man comes in. That ball's coming back. That's another goal to Wilson Grange. That's goal number 2. 2-2-14, leading the Redland-Victoria Point Sharks. I believe 2 straight behinds. A little bit hard when we don't really have a scoreboard in front of us. So, apologies for that. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Thank you, Richo, for pointing that out. I've been staring at the wrong scoreboard. It's right there. Yep. 2 straight behinds to 2-2-14. 12-point leaders are the Gorillas.
So, yeah, Wilson Grange, they're just doing a lot of work around the ball. Getting their hands on it, matching Redland-Victoria Point in every aspect of the moment, and obviously have had the 2 good opportunities and made it happen, made it work.
And that's the thing too, they've been a little bit Hamilton conscious in the early stages of this game, the Sharks. Hang on, umpire's seen a free kick, a little bit overzealous with the tackle.
Yeah, Fiddler had it and he held on to it, but Murdoch just got into his back.
Here comes that run and carry from the Gorillas, chip towards full forward. Munn dropped the mark. He probably should have taken. Got ball on boot. Sharks have got the numbers here. What does he do here? Pretty dangerous handball back in the corridor. Chips out wide, looking for Aston of the Brock variety. He's got it now. Down the wing. No one really forward of the footy. Contest is made. Ball is a deck. Good front and centre. Handball's back in board. In the hands of the Sharks. Chip over the top. Ball rolling over the line. Another boundary throw-in.
Benson and Horsfeld working together out there, trying to, but it ended up being a scrappy left foot kick into the pocket, which rolled over. But nice ball movement there. However, Grange, they won the clearance. They gave themselves the opportunity again into deep in their forward line.
Geez, probably the 4 or 5 times have gone inside 50. The ball's definitely going to Hamilman. So they really, and Brown is there too, but he really needs to get himself in some dangerous spots. Umpire's found a free kick. It's going to the Sharks, I believe.
To the big fella.
Is that Packow?
Yep.
Yep. Lamana Packow. Another solid contributor for the Sharks in season 2023, Richo.
And look, just a contest and clearance, absolute beast. He great body position he takes the ball out of the ruck several times every match. That time, obviously, they must Grange must have just gotten into his back or high or something. Didn't quite see it.
Packow. That's the first goal for Redland-Victoria points. As the sound system goes off next to us as well. That's going to be happening every time Redland's Victoria Point kick a goal this afternoon. First goal on the board for the Sharks.
And a little bit of music, creates the energy, the atmosphere, helps out. I think it's Axel F, this one, the old Beverly Hills Cop. Maybe we can have a competition naming the song every time.
No.
Hey, we'll see how we go.
No. I was going to say, I thought you were going to ask for a dance-off between the two of us. We're not doing that this afternoon.
It brings back the memories of Eddie Murphy, that one.
Oh, geez, that makes me feel old. I'm still in my 30s, ladies and gents, and it makes me feel old listening to that. Umpire balls the ball back up. Yagmore got the tap out. Tried to get the handball out. Here's another clearance going to the Gorillas. Kick inside 50. That's a good intercept mark by Adrian Williams. Story of the Tag. He's the number 2 intercept marker in the competition this season. Kick down the line from the Sharks. Mark taken out there. Right in front of the crowd. Plenty of crowd on that side of the ground. They're going off.
Same names getting involved there. Rolls delivery out to Johnson, and now Johnson back to Rolls again. Rolls, I think, could be up to 10 already.
I'd totally agree with you. Rolls, kick towards Hamilman, got over the top. A little bit unlucky not to get a push in the back there. Drops the footy. Here's the pressure from the Sharks. Again, hat kick out of trouble. William is there. Couldn't get his hands on the footy. That's better from the Gorillas, though, but the ball ends up here with the Sharks. Great tackle laid. That's got to be gone. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Fiddler's got great closing speed. Great closing speed, and just he tackles aggressively.
They're trying to go through the corridor every chance they get. Come out this broadcast side. Ends up in the hands of Baker. Baker, not the best of kicks. Almost kicking to space. Oh, great tackle there. Ball came out. Ball rolling just in front of the boundary line here. Huddy's there as well, the big fella. Right. That was a kick off the ground. That's out on the full.
And what's interesting there, Kane, is Hamilman's back in the forward 50. Hamilman's man, Patrick Snell, ran. He became the option. He's a great matchup for him. He's the similar size, and now he's showing he's not afraid to be running off.
And you got Baker, who delivered that ball beautifully inside 50 to Dirksen. We were talking about Dirksen pre-game, ladies and gentlemen. He had a pretty solid afternoon last week as well. He didn't necessarily worry the scorers, but his second efforts were brilliant last week.
Missed a lot of the year with injuries, so can only get better and build upon what he's done the last few weeks, you would think.
Dirksen, is that going to sneak in? No, it's not. That's out on the full. Yagmore's down there. He's probably going to take this kick.
Yeah. Interesting what's happening behind the play here, because Snell's gone off for a rest, and Hamilman has the smaller Hugo Thew on him. So
Geez, got about a foot in height difference there.
Correct. So we'll see what happens shortly here.
No one can take the mark from the kick out. There's Baker. Baker trying to get the handball over the top. Umpire says that was a throw. It's going to be Campbell Aston taking the free kick. Brock Aston just roaming around here as well. That's okay. That's Stephen. Stephen comes back in board to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan again back in board.
Redland-Vic lined up across the park here.
Oh, missed the kick though. That's okay. Williams had some time. Chips the ball out wide. They're not really going forward at the moment, the Sharks. They're happy to go sideways. That's a little bit better. Little chip kick over the top, looking for the feed off handball. Here it comes. Here's the overlap. Ends up in the hands of Brock Aston. That's better. Right on half forward. Not the best of kicks. That could be contact. No, good mark taken there by the young man. That's Butterick. Jess Butterick takes a good, going back with a fly of the ball. Shocking kick off the boot though. Missed Baker completely. That's out on the full.
Yeah, he had two options out there, but unfortunately he's just overcooked it and it's gone with the wind and carried the line.
Here's a chance now, number 18. This is Stephen. He's right on the boundary line. Now, that was an interesting one because you had players coming off the ground for Wilston Grange, left the free space, and ran into it easily. In the end was Thomas Matthews.
And he has a big leg on him here, Thomas Matthews, so I wouldn't be surprised if this comfortably made the distance today.
Well, he'll probably be kicking right on 50. Listen to that. You can always hear a pin drop as he comes in for his shot on goal. Comes in now, right foot kick. That's coming back. That's a beautiful goal. Thomas Matthews kicks his first. We've played 21, or just over 21 and a half minutes in the opening quarter. And all of a sudden, Redland-Victoria Point are behind by just the solitary behind. 2-1-13. Redland-Victoria Point trailing Wilston Grange 2-2-14. Towards the back end of this first quarter, Richo.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining opening quarter today. Wilston Grange Gorillas kicked the first couple early, good opportunities, nice goals, and Redland-Victoria Point just been able to work their way back into it. On the back of, strong running, strong play from some of their key players. Johnson on the wing, Rolls. Aston got involved that time as well.
Martin back in the midfield as well. No clear winner. Brock Aston ends up with it. Just a hack kick forward. Plenty of numbers around the ball. Can't let it get over the back. Hamilman tried to lay the tackle.
There goes Snell again.
Snell. But again, that turnover in a dangerous spot. Here come the Sharks. Trying to put the pressure on. Guess who? Matty Hamilman. He's going to be right on that boundary though.
And 50 out, yeah, it's going to be a good kick from here, but he's got the cheer squad behind him, Kane, so I'm sure he's going to put everything into it. It'd be a nice way to get off the mark today for him.
Well, he's got 94 for the year. He needs 6 goals to kick the 100. This would be a good start for Matty Hamilman. Comes in now, right foot kick. Not going to get there. Ball gets pushed through. Minus score going to the Sharks. Scores a level here.
Marley McGregor knocking that one through. But it's interesting watching the Wilston Grange Gorillas in the back half. Snell's running off Hamilman, but they know that they've got to cover him, and they're just swapping over the Grange defenders, so they're working well together at the moment.
All of a sudden, when the ball hits a deck, and Hamilman's got it again. When the ball hits a deck, they're starting to get that momentum going, the Sharks. They're getting plenty of numbers around the drop of the ball. I believe that was Hunkin too. Got his hands on the footy. Hamilman had a mountain of room in front of him to lead into. Yep. Good kick inside 50. Good mark. This is a bit of an easier kick for Hamilman.
Yeah, you won't have to stretch for this one. Should be comfortable from this range, and obviously more in front than what he was earlier.
Hamilman Goal number 95 for the year. Comes in.
He likes that one.
Right foot kick. That's straight over the goal umpire's hat. The countdown begins, Richo. 5 to go for Hamilton to reach the magical ton for the year. As the music goes off again once more, ladies and gents. And all of a sudden, back into the quarter, they kicked a couple of quick goals. 3-2-20, leading Wilston Grange 2-2-14.
And the guys up at the unofficial countdown scoreboard were very quick to get their hands on the 4 and replace it with a 5. The 95 goals now for the year. But as you called, I mean, Redland-Vic, they were good at the contest as the ball came out that time. A quick handball released Hunkin, I think you called.
Hunkin, yep.
And yeah, Hamilton worked into just a big open piece of space on the fat side. So, yeah, it was pretty regulation stuff there that time.
We've got Westerberg in the ruck for Wilston Grange. Made pretty solid contact. Speaking of solid contact, umpire says holding the ball. Well.
Yeah, I think he might have jumped on it there. And as you say, the solid contact, Pacquiao sort of sits under the ball in the ruck. So Westerberg's sort of addressing the way he plays that, and that time ran into him.
This is Fiddler once more. Look at that for delivery. Fiddler front of centre in the first quarter. His delivery has been brilliant in the first opening stanzas for the Wilston Grange Gorillas. And this is Dirksen again.
Yeah, another opportunity here for Dirksen, and again a bit easier. I mean, he's still on the 50, so it's got to be a good kick, but almost directly in front with Yagmore on the mark, around 46 metres out.
Dirksen launches that right foot kick, again held up with a breeze a little bit, just off line to the right. Minor score. They move to 2-3-15, trailing Redlands-Victoria point 3-2-20. 26.5 minutes played in the opening quarter. Baker just guarding space, one-on-one contest. That's a good mark. That's Matthews. He's had a pretty good start to the game as well. Comes back in board. Now, the problem is, where do you go from here? That's okay. Kick forward. This is Hunkin. Hunkin comes back.
Yeah, the last 2 times they've just been a little bit more controlled coming out, although they've tried to release here.
Wilston Grange got numbers of the drop of the footy. Here's McFadden. McFadden chips the ball up. Richardson. Gazaldine was running off as well, trying to get that overlap. McFadden's run into 50 as well. Missed the both of them. Ball to Deck. Oh, dangerous kick. Martin was there. Couldn't get possession of the footy. Speaking of possession, he almost got it back then as well. Ball rolling around. That could have been a high tackle. No free kick paid. He's a solid tackle. Was Williams for a stoppage inside 50. A bit of push and shove behind the ball as well. No love lost between these two. Plenty on the line this afternoon. As the ball comes out to Williams, smothered off the boot. Here's a chance for the Gorillas. Good tackle laid. Got the ball out. Umpire says hold the ball. Didn't give a handball. Didn't kick it.
Yeah, Fiddler just sort of released it.
Just rolled it along the ground.
The tackle there, yep. So, yeah, good call by the umpire there. But, yeah, no, plenty of energy in there in the forward 50.
Now, umpire's called something
here. That's
the
siren. That's the siren.
Oh, that's the siren for quarter time. I could barely hear it through the headset.
Yeah, no, I think our volume's...
hang on.
Up nice and high, dealing with the music, and so we couldn't hear the siren there. So
we'll keep a track on that.
We'll look out for that later. That might be important later.
That will be very important later on, Richo. As a bit of push and shove after the siren went as well. Umpire's trying to get control here. Quarter time. Redland-Victoria point 3-2-20 to Wilston Grange 2-3-15. 5 points the margin. Quarter time here in the preliminary final. Live QAFL action from the Shark Tank. We'll be back for second quarter action in a few moments. And welcome back, ladies and gents, to live QAFL preliminary final action here between Redland-Victoria Point Sharks and the Wilston Grange Gorillas. My name's Kane Brown, still joined in the box by Adrian Richardson. Welcome back, Richo. What'd you think of that first quarter?
Yeah, thanks, Kane. Great first quarter, both ways. A lot of positives from both teams. The way they're carrying the ball, moving the ball, the defensive setups by both, whilst both different, both being effective. 3 goals to 2. We've got a great contest on our hands, mate.
Huddy versus number 19, Westenberg. No real clear winner. They've been pretty good in the clearance game, though. That's a smart kick from Baker. Fiddler once more. He's had a bit of the footy in that first quarter. Fiddler's delivery's been pretty good. Good block play. Mark taken. Jeez, Dirksen once more. He's taken 3 contested marks inside 50.
Correct. He's getting his hands on the ball. He's finding himself in the right spots. They're hitting him up well. He just needs to make it count on the scoreboard now.
And Jesse Butterick just put a little block play on his direct opponent. Gave Dirksen an opportunity to get a bit of space.
Yeah, always helps when you're working for each other.
Dirksen now. This could be a great start for Wilston Grange to take the lead back. Kick on goal. Is it going to hold the line? Yes, it does. That's perfect start for Wilston Grange in the second quarter. 3-3-21. Leading Redland-Victoria Point 3-2-20. That took 58 seconds for the goal to be kicked, so a brilliant start by the Gorillas.
It's very clean football that time. Westerberg followed up after, as you called it, it's sort of a neutral contest, but he was able to get the second hands on, the handball, couple of handballs and a little kick, I think, was from Baker out to Fiddler.
That was a brilliant, smart kick from Baker.
And Fiddler just escaped out the front of the pack a little bit, So, and then he hit up Dirksen. Dirksen's hit that well. You probably saw behind the ball there, the winds, that ball's always going to go left to right at that end, so he played it well.
Huddy back in the ruck. Almost taps it to his own advantage. Ruben Williams is there. Good tackle laid by Wilston Grange.
Yeah, that's Fiddler again. We called that earlier. He's one of those guys that accelerates into the tackle.
You almost say Fiddler's probably best for Wilston Grange at the moment, and on the other end you got Jack Rolls getting plenty of the footy for the Sharks. Speaking of Rolls, he's at the bottom of the pack there. Another stoppage, says the umpire. Had he probably got the tap out there? No one's going to get that ball out. Another stoppage. Just forward of centre for Wilston Grange. Ruben Williams, a little bit of a fumble to Huddy, to Rolls. Rolls goes back. Kick down the line. That's better ball movement. Not the best attempt at mark. Here comes Campbell Aston now. Little chip kick. Good contest there. Brought the ball to ground. Free kick behind the play is going to the Sharks. A little bit of undiscipline from Wilston Grange. Kick towards Yagmore. Oh, that's Packow once more. Apologies. Now here's a chance. Fezeltine just taps the ball to himself. Overruns the footy a little bit. Dives back on it. That could be holding the ball. Good luck getting that ball out. No, says the umpire. Gives him the benefit of the doubt.
And Kane, I was wrong earlier. Hambleton's not the only guy with the ponytail. I forgot about Marley McGregor at the other end, and that was Marley McGregor who just outpointed Packow. But see, he's got the hair tied up as well.
Brock Aston, bit of a hack kick forward of the ball. Umpire says hold the footy. Advantage paid. Here come the Sharks. Looking for Hamilton. And again, another kick inside 50. I'm pretty sure that was Matthews out there.
Look, it could be one of 3, I think, as you put the binoculars up. It was a long way away. But I originally thought it was Jack Rolls, but then I think Rolls was elsewhere. I think it might have been number 18, Damien Stephen, I think.
Well,
we'll need to see the replay for that one, mate.
Well, unfortunately, we don't get access to the replay. As Hamilton comes in now, straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's goal number 96 for the year. Goal number 2 this afternoon. And the Sharks head back 4-2-26, leading Wilston Grange 3-3-21. 4.5 minutes played in the second quarter, Richard.
They won a free kick out there on the far side, but escaped out, with the advantage. And once the Redland-Victoria point team are up and about and running on it, they're pretty hard to stop. A neat kick inside there to Hamilman, who obviously you give him chances like that out on the lead, and he's going to mark them and convert them 9 times out of 10.
And Fazaldine as well, that little fumble on that far side just gave the Sharks defence enough time to snaffle the ball up, get that little overlap going, and the free kick behind the ball. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but the umpire was there, he picked up on it.
Yeah, he was right on the spot, but no, I wasn't looking in that direction either, unfortunately.
There was definitely a bit of push and shove. There were 5 or 6 players at centre forward for Wilston Grange. As Hunty probably got the tap out. Here comes Brock Aston. Kicks to centre forward. Ball can't be marked. Ball, it's a deck. Still in the hands of a Shark. Brock Aston just a hack kick forward. Brown's down there. Brown, snap over the shoulder. There's another one. And that's goal number 50. Thank you very much, Richard. That's 50 for the year for Joshua Brown. Well done to Mr. Brown. That's a great effort. And just a bit of a panic, not a panic, but a panic ball going inside 50. And Brown's pickup, break through traffic, snap over the shoulder, great finish.
I think I just saw there that they have such a great understanding, Hamilman and Brown. As soon as the ball hit the ground, I feel like I saw Hamilman take half a step and thought, no, I don't go for this one. Brown, this is all yours. And he was absolutely neat enough to control it one hand, I think, and then just whipped around onto his right foot, and it was straight through. Umpire didn't move.
And Brown was running towards goal there, wasn't he? So I reckon you're right there, Richo. Hamilman just took a step to the side, put some body contact on. Speaking of body contact, no, says the umpire. The home ground's not going to like that.
It was probably paid a little late, but I think it was there. It was there. Hamilman sort of did enough in the contest, moved Snell out of the way.
McFadden dropped the mark. William got the handball forward. That's really a nothing kick. Got to go. Play on, says the umpire. Didn't have enough time to get rid of the ball. Was number 13. That was Murdoch. Murdoch was blocking for Brock Aston there. Got the kick out of that congestion. Murdoch again ducks under the tackle. Brock Aston inside our top. Didn't come back in the field of play. That's our on the fault. So here's a chance for Wilston Grange to get out of trouble. Wilston Grange chips across.
Yeah, Grange need to work hard here now. It's just a dangerous part of the game. Redland-Victoria point, we know how easily they can score once they get their tails up. So
that's McGregor out there, took the mark, looking for McFadden, takes the mark. I think the binoculars are starting to give me a little bit of help on that far side, Richo, as McFadden kicks the ball down the line. Reuben William is roving. Tackle laid. Great tackle laid there by, that's Lachlan Rook for Wilston Grange. Probably about 60 metres out from the Gorillas' goal. Umpire throws the ball up now. Huddy got the tap out. And again, McFadden's getting a little bit of it in the second quarter. Oh! Is that a free kick? No, says the umpire, I don't think.
No, all fair in Lovemore there. Murdoch had control of the ball, jumped into it. Was it Murdoch or was it Scott Miller?
I think
one or the other. And yeah, the Wilston Grange player just held his position.
I think they call that, a little bit worried about that tunnelling action there.
Yeah.
But umpire says nothing to see here, so play on. Ball rolls over the boundary line.
You're not suggesting Andrew Brayshaw tunnelled Braden Maynard the other night?
No, not at all. But I don't think Braden Maynard had very, very many options trying to smother the ball, to be honest, Richo. As play continues here at the Shark Tank, getting a little bit distracted. Good luck marking that, boys. Oh, that's a great mark. Number 33, Osborne. That was a brilliant mark. Ball's in the hands of Gordon, Jackson Gordon. Down the line. Huddy
all day on that one. Was the only player looking.
Campbell Aston here. Oh, that's a dangerous kick. Could be cut off. Yes, it is. Here's a chance for the Gorillas. Good tackle laid by Aston. Kick towards centre half forward. Missed the ball completely. Lays a tackle though. And that was Rolls back there again. Just trying to get my voice back here, ladies and gents. Right on the centre half forward position here. For Wilston Grange.
Lachlan Rooks put a couple of tackles on Jack Rolls now, just in close. So he's, doesn't want Rolls getting that easy kick out.
Here comes Brock Aston. Number one disposal getter so far in season 2023. I think he's got number one in about 4 different categories through the year.
Around that. Oscar Stewart there again, tying him up.
Huddy got the tap out once more. That's a high tackle from Brock Aston. That's Mann. Already kicked one for the afternoon. Kicks the ball inside 50. Reuben William really wasn't going for the footy. Umpire said play on. He definitely did. His body was on the footy, but his eyes were definitely not on the footy in that contest.
The umpire might have been blocked or something, but it did look like it could have been paid there. I don't think he had eyes all for the ball, if you know what I mean.
He definitely had eyes on Dirksen.
He knew where his player was, that's for sure.
That's a juicy matchup at the moment. Dirksen and William. And look, speaking of juicy matchups, Martin and Brock Aston in the middle of the ground at the moment. Sharks now going towards their centre forward. Hamilton goes up. Got pulled off the footy. No free kick. Rolling. There's another one. Crowd going off here. Oh, and Brown's taken out the runner. The Waterboy. Waterboy's gone to ground. Brown doing the celebration. That's goal 51 for the year. And bowled over the runner. Haven't seen that for a while, Richo.
No, that adds a little bit of spice to the contest. Maybe the runner, the water runner will be looking to get him back a bit later. But look, I've seen Josh Brown do that at this ground before. I think he thinks it's a golf green down there. It's like a long putt. He knows which way the ball's going to bounce. And from there, he, with no hesitation from 45 metres out, just on the outside of the boot, and was happy to let it dribble its way all the way through. Never looked like missing.
That's what you call home court advantage, Richo. It's always nice. You definitely get the feel of the land on your home turf. And, geez, would you believe it? We've got Huddy and Baker on a wing at the moment. And Huddy just came in, went for a push and shove. Baker actually comes out up to his probably belly button there as here come the Sharks through Rolls. Rolls looking for Hamilton once more. Ball comes to ground. Pressure's on the Wilston Grange backline. Ball rolls over for a boundary throw-in on that far side.
Yeah, Marley McGregor that time able to get across in front of Hamilton. So Wilston Grange looking to address those avenues into Hamilton. It's obviously a concern for them.
We've got Westerberg in the ruck versus Packow. Ball comes to ground. That's Brock Aston again. Hamilton again makes the contest. Baker's got it though. Bit of a fumble. Here comes the pressure from the Sharks. Huddy laid a pretty solid tackle. Ball got out. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Sharks have got the out number here. Campbell Aston kicks the ball now. No one at home for the Sharks. Should have taken that mark. That could be head high. Yes, it is, says the umpire. Free kick. Going to Butterick.
Jess Butterick. That's
Jess
time.
Butterick. Butterick just saying slow the ball down. Little chip kick to Martin. Martin finds himself on the half back line for Wilston Grange. Campbell Aston on the mark. Look out. No one at home. Packow drops a mark. Just throws it out. Play on, says the umpire. Intercepting there is Reuben William. William going into the corridor. Brock Aston's going to end up with it. Comes back in board. Little chip kick. Just off the mark. Ball gets intercepted.
Straight down Will Martin's throat there. Knew that Brock was going to come back onto his left side.
Got the number out wide. Handball back in board. That was McGregor. McGregor goes long. Ball hits the deck. Ruben William roving once more. Can't get the ball out. Almost threw it out. Play on, says the umpire. And again, got the extra number here. Packout once more. Williams slow to get up.
Fiddler's
ends up in number 12 in Miller.
Fiddler as well, and Williams. There's a couple sore boys out there.
Well, you keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on the play. Handball over the top. This is Aston again. Left foot kick towards goal. Just offline to the right. Probably should have done better there, Brock Aston. Bit disappointed in himself.
Yeah, Redland-Victoria Point making it a bit harder across that half-back line there for the Gorillas to get through. So they're going to be, working together, finding the targets, being clean with the ball. It looks like Redland-Victoria Point have just stepped it up a little bit.
Baker chipped the ball back in board.
That's Snell.
Snell. Right on full back. Huddy looks like he's pushed forward as well. Got pushed under the footy there. Yes. Took a pretty solid mark there, though, with Stallard. Stallard back in board. Could have been paid the mark. No mark paid. Look at the numbers for the Sharks around this footy. Speaking of around the footy, that's got to be gone. Yes, it is. Just had nowhere to go. The space closed up real quick.
Yeah, Baker body lined O'Sullivan there and was able to tie him up once he'd wrapped his arms around him. O'Sullivan obviously trying to make that evasive move. That's his prior opportunity, so easy decision by the umpire there. But Baker's, I think it was a little clash of heads there, so a little bit of claret coming off the forehead.
A little bit of blood rule.
Emergency umpire Sam Bridges just coming out onto the ground and monitoring activity there as Rolls comes back on.
Bowles has a footy at the moment. Looking to come out of this broadcast side. Williams is there. Hasn't been around the footy that often, Williams. McFadden's got it now. Left foot kick back in board. Got to go, boys. Oh, that's a great mark. That's got to be 50. No, says the umpire. Osborne. Come into the side this week too. He's been out of the side for a couple of weeks. Two Grange players went up. No one could take the mark. Ball rolling towards the goal line. Fiddler was there once more. Got bumped off the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Ball's been pushed through for a minor score.
Just great stuff there from young Hunter Osborne. He had no idea what was coming, and I think it was Murdoch coming the other way, so he wouldn't have been giving him an inch.
Speaking of Osborne, he punches the ball clear there. Ball gets over the back. He's still there trying to offer support. Umpire says, I'll take it. No. He's very lively, Osborne, isn't he?
Yeah. No, he's
bit of skipping his step.
No fear there.
Osborne looking for the smother there. And again, got to be clean here, coming through the corridor. Can't turn it over. Over the shoulders, screams the crowd. No free kick. Launches the ball. Williams is there, can't take possession, but that's a free kick going to the Sharks.
Yeah, Fiddler with a fistful of jumper there.
Campbell Aston out here, got to be clean. Took possession of the ball, didn't really have much time to get rid of it though. Good tackle laid by McFadden. Right on the 50-metre arc at half forward.
Yeah, the contest has evened up again in this second quarter. Just feel like we need Wilston Grange to get one on the board, just to stay in touch.
Can't let this ball get over the back here, the Gorillas. Rolls is in there, gets a handball out. Here's some corridor run from the Sharks. Got a little bit of the overlap going. Pushing to that far side wing, kicks down the line, looking for Hamilman. Has got it. Now, where's Brown? Hamilman decides to go over the back. Right to the hot spot, ball rolling around. Punch back in board in the hands of the Gorillas. Trying to come out of trouble. Almost sidestepping himself there. Was
Nixon Smith.
No one was within 10 metres of him.
I think he just took the opportunity to, settle things down a little bit. He had a bit of space and time, so.
That was Martin once more. Kicks out wide. Again, back to Martin. Got to get some corridor run going here. That's McGregor. McGregor goes out a little bit wider. Back to Nixon Smith. Nixon Smith kicks the ball. Not the best of kicks going inside 50. Plenty of numbers around this ball for the Sharks. Well, guess who it was? That was McFadden once more. Got absolutely poleaxed.
Yeah, Murdoch again. Strong in the tackle. Number one tackler for the season in the QAFL. We can see why.
Murdoch seems to be following Brock Aston around as well, Richo. Just given that body pressure on...
It's a 1-2 punch. It's a team 1-2 punch. It's, does a lot of the one percenters, and Brock sometimes rewarded by that with all the possessions.
Rolls, kicks down the line. Numbers are with the Gorillas, but the ball's with the Sharks. Too far out. Bit of push and shove on the boundary line. Umpires coming in. Come on, boys.
Yeah, we just saw when Loxton Smith had the opportunity to go inside 50 there. He looked up and there were Redland-Victoria point jumpers everywhere. So they've just got to work on that Gorillas. Billy Richardson needs to find a bit of space.
Speaking of space, the Sharks had a bit there. Again, McGregor drops a mark he should have taken. Good tackle laid. No, says the umpire. That's a free kick.
Yeah, Bowles on Horsefield that time. Did he lower himself at the knees? Maybe not, but look, I think Bowles probably could have gone lower.
It was front on, wasn't it?
I think it was there.
Yeah, it was. The free kick was definitely there. Horsefield for his first goal of the afternoon, and for Redland-Victoria Point to increase the lead here in the second quarter. Not the best of kicks on goal though. Pushes it way right. Minor score. 6-5-41. Redland-Victoria Point leading Wilston Grange 3-4-22. 21 and a half minutes played in the second quarter.
Snell looking to come back in again. And
You're right, Rich. You're getting your voice back. Choking on a little bit of water. That's okay. Ball gets over the back here.
Bit dry and dusty out here today, Kane.
Yes, it is.
What a beautiful day we have.
Oh, a little bit of a breeze. Not a cloud in the sky. Can't ask for more. Numbers with the Gorillas. McGregor.
That time, yep.
He snaffled up that one.
He's reading the ball in. He's just obviously just taken that one nicely.
McGregor to Baker, who's had his head wrapped up. A little bit of blood earlier. Good chip in board. Got a bit of run. Got to go, though. Kick towards full forward. Not the best of kicks. Ball hits a deck. Who's there for the Gorillas? Screaming for a free kick. No free kick paid. McFadden's there. That's Rook. Caught on the ball.
Yagmore, great tackle on Rook there. He tried to sidestep him. Look, Butterick that time, Joel, he just missed the target, made it a bit difficult. But, geez, I love the way McFadden's contesting. McFadden, sorry, he's contesting well down there. He just needs a bit of help from his mates.
And Williams hasn't done a lot of intercept, but he's just been that general down back for the Sharks at the moment, isn't he, Richo? As play continues here, speaking of Williams, he ended up with the ball there. Rolls is having a field day in this first half, ladies and gents. He's had plenty of the ball. Kicks it out wide, diving attempt at mark.
Yeah, he goes at high efficiency too. That's the real positive of it for Redland-Victoria Point.
Back in board to Hunkin. Hunkin got the ball now, left foot kick, out wide. Look at that closing speed from Osborne out there. Good attack on the ball. Punch the ball over the line. Another boundary throw in.
Yeah, it feels like we're in a little bit of a holding pattern for the last 5 or 10 minutes. 3 goals is the margin. So, but by no, Wilston Grange certainly still in the game.
By no stretch over.
But they need to capitalise when given that opportunity.
Pacquiao in the ruck. Ends up in the hands of Wilston Grange, though. Yagmore's back here. Could intercept ball. It's a deck. Got leg there. No, said the umpire. Williams was trying to impact the contest. Look at that for a tackle. That's gone as well. Yeah, I reckon he had half a finger nail on him. Just held on long enough. for that to be paid on the ball. Reuben William down back. Kicks the ball. Campbell Aston, speaking of plenty of the ball, he's had plenty of it in the first half. Handballs it off. Bit of run and carry from the Sharks. Look at that for a handball from Brown. Chip in board. Got the numbers here.
Hannibal.
Hannibal. I was going to call him Hannibal for a second there. Hannibal right to the goal line. McGregor couldn't take the mark. Ball hits a deck. Hamilton impacted the contest. Almost like there was a shark in the forward pocket. Look at the ball rolling around, trying to get ball on boot. Wilston Grange coming out of trouble once more. McFadden brings the ball to ground. No, says the umpire, pushing the back.
Yeah, a bit rough that one, I think, you know.
Campbell Aston kicks the ball short. Number 17, that's Benson. Benson now going to launch a right foot kick into the left forward pocket. Looking for Hamilton. Couldn't take the mark. Laid a good tackle though. Hat kick out. And again, McFadden trying to trick the umpire there. The mark was taken by Hunkin. Now, where does Hunkin go from here? Does he just go to the hot spot, Richo? Does he, you know, it looks like he's going for goal. Hang on. Hang on. Umpire's going, well, if you're going to go for goal, you better go back on your mark. It was about a foot on the right-hand side of the guy standing the mark. Comes in now, kicks to the hot spot. Plenty of numbers around the ball here. Ball hits the deck. Hannibal was there once more. Got the handball out. Baker's there laying a solid tackle. Another stoppage. About 40 metres out from the Sharks' goal.
Yeah, Wilston Grange Gorillas working hard in there, which they have to do. Marley McGregor's been fantastic this quarter, being the third man in, getting his hands on the ball.
Packow pulled the ball out of the ruck. Got the kick. Got smothered though. Here's a chance. Snap on goal. Coming back right to the line. And again, is he going to push it? Oh. Well, there was a little bit of pressure on him.
Nah, them's
on
the
last
rules.
line.
Them's the rules.
That's okay.
Them's the rules. You're allowed to do that.
At least he was in the goal square. Unlike last week, where he was about 2 metres outside the goal square when he punched the ball through. Here come Richardson. Completely overruns a footy, though. Trying to get the ball out, McFadden. Got the ball smothered. Got the handball out. They're getting sucked into the contest a little bit here, the Gorillas. Brock Aston handball to back. Campbell Aston now. Back to Brock Aston. Left foot kick. Got taken out. Free kick down the ground. And that's was that McFadden again? I believe so.
Well, Gordon's on the mark there.
No, I'm talking about
it was a free kick down the
McFadden
ground.
took Brock Aston out right on the boundary line.
Look, I'm loving his desperation, his intent and so forth. But if you play on the edge, you've got to stay on the right side of that edge.
Well, here comes Hamilton. Line up for goal number 97. That's a good one. Guess what, Richo? 3 to go for Hamilton to kick the magical ton as Redland-Victoria Point go further in the lead. 7-5-47. Leading Wilston Grange 3-4-22. 28. Just over 28 minutes played here in the second quarter.
Yeah, look, you know, the game is up and down the ground. Wilston Grange are certainly getting their hands on the ball enough and giving themselves opportunities. But we're in that stage of the game right now. I think they call it where the elastic band. You've got to make sure that elastic band doesn't snap. It's 4 goals in it. Redland-Victoria Point playing good footy as well. Kicking straight-ish. But, yeah, they want to be careful. They really want to dig in now, Wilston Grange.
Packow was there once more in the ruck. Here's a chance for Wilston Grange. Who's going to take the mark down there? Guess who? Richardson.
Richo.
Oh, push and shove behind the footy as the siren goes for half time. Oh, it's on now. And that's 50. There is a player down. Reuben William decided to give him a nice little shove while he was still on the ground. Look at Richardson. It's like part of the Red Sea. Comes in now, left foot kick. That's a goal on half time for Wilston Grange. as there's pockets of push and shove everywhere here in the forward 50 for Wilston Grange. We'll keep a close eye on that. Redlands-Victoria point, 7-5-47 to Wilston Grange. I believe that's their fourth goal, so they're going to move to 4-4-28. Right on half time.
Yeah, a couple of spot fires there, Kane, and still a little push and shove going. But look, I talked about it a little bit earlier. We needed Billy Richardson to stand up and get his hands on the ball a little bit there when the ball comes in, and he did that. Fantastic. He would have had a shot from about 30, 35 out, but probably silly play by Redland-Victoria point. They made it, an absolute certainty, which. On the stroke of half time, I'm not sure that would have been in the handbook.
No, and that's definitely a goal they needed right on half time, Richo.
It is.
And, well, scores here. Redland-Victoria point again, 7-5-47 to 4-4-28. Half time in the preliminary final here from the Shark Tank at Redland-Victoria point. We'll be back for third quarter QAFL action here in a few moments. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to preliminary final QAFL live action here from the Shark Tank, the home of the Redland-Victoria Point Sharks, as they battle the Wilston Grange Gorillas. 19 points the margin here at half-time. Nothing in it at the moment between these two sides. 5 points the margin at quarter time. 19 points at half-time. My name's Kane Brennan. I'm joined back in the box by Adrian Richardson. And Richo, what'd you think of that first half?
Yeah, great half of footy, Kane. Probably, I wouldn't even use the word momentum. There wasn't momentum with either time at any stage.
No.
We know that Redland-Victoria Point got a few goals ahead there, so they've got a 3-goal margin. They eked that out, and, you know, I mentioned about the elastic band. It didn't happen quickly. It was just grinded out. Fortunately for Wilston Grange, Billy Richardson was able to put one back, claw one back after the siren. So we're set up for a fantastic second half. It'll be interesting to see, you know, what happens now. Martin's been fantastic in the midfield. He probably still has another gear in him to go to. Their forwards need to be the opportunistic as opportunistic as they have been over the last couple. I've loved McFadgen and just what he's been putting on the body contest. And at the other end, I'm sure Redland-Victoria Point are just sort of out there thinking, right, more of the same. We don't have to get any better. We don't have to drop off. We just want to keep clawing away. So, you know, we're well set up now, Kane. And the one thing we do know with Wilston Grange, if they stay within that 2 to 3 goal margin, they're in the game right till the end.
No, you're definitely right there, Richo. Four goals to 2 in that second quarter for the Sharks to get that lead to 19 points. Third quarter, the premiership quarter action here as the ball gets bounced up. Hetty probably got the tap out there, but got out to Baker, the captain. Kicks towards forward 50. Is that pushing the back? Mark paid?
Yeah, Miller's been paid the mark. Probably a little fortunate. Fiddler got his hands on the ball early with the release handball out of the midfield there.
Fazaldine's kicked one, but he's got to get in the contest a little bit more. Need to bring that ball to ground as he pushes to Mark Williams. Back now. They're just trying to zone off here, Wilson Grange forwards. Out wide. He's had a good first half as well as been Stephen for the Sharks. Baker and Campbell Aston here on the wing. Great matchup. Baker tried to influence that contest. The guy that was shooting across the pack there was number 5 in Hugo Thew. Punched the ball over the line.
We're seeing a game plan there from Redland-Victoria Point. Out of the back line, they're happy to chip it around, just take a bit of air out of the contest, and then they release after that. But they certainly don't mind keeping hands on the ball in the back line.
They kick to the narrow side as well, so it's close to the boundary line. A little bit Collingwood-like the other night. So that defence can punch the ball clear, but it's another stoppage they can set up behind the footy and go again. Speaking of going again, that was Baker trying to get his hands on the footy. Huddy just hacked the handball out. Speaking of hacking out, Brock Aston, is that ball going to stay in? Yes, it does. Ball almost ended up in deliberate, says the umpire. Well, I don't know, but I don't know what more Brock Aston could do in that situation, Richard.
Yeah, it was interesting. He was probably almost on the centre wing area, on the point of the square, and the ball's gone sideways. He hacked it, so there was no care taken, I suppose.
That was a skill error.
Probably
pure and simple.
Probably a tough call.
It wasn't deliberate at all, I didn't think. Yeah. Marn's got it now. Marn, that's a brilliant kick.
That's scintillating.
Scintillating.
Have I used that word yet today?
No, you haven't. Fiddler's got it now, right on half forward. He had a pretty good first half. He's been belted pillar to post in the opening half. Has been Fiddler. Fiddler now comes in. First goal of the third quarter, possibly. Launches a kick. Is that going to come back with the wind? No, it's not. Minus score to the left. They move to 4-5-29, trailing Redland-Victoria Point by a couple of goals, 7-5-47. Yagmore coming out from full back. Speaking of scintillating, that was a brilliant kick.
And they're out now.
Campbell Aston kicks down the line. Ends up with number 17. That's Benson. Benson now. Kicks towards half forward. No one can take the mark. Got pushed off the footy, though. That's a free kick. Play on. Brown, that's a rundown. That's on the ball.
Yeah, young Harry Wilson there. He's put on a few good tackles today.
Dangerous kick.
Fantastic.
Hamilman trying to cut it off. Couldn't on that occasion. Nixon Smith had it. Kicks the ball towards Martin. Martin comes back in board. Kick down the line. Gets over the back. Here's a chance for Wilson Grange. Got to be clean. Oh, guess what? His own teammate took him out. And Huddy, they kick behind the ball, takes an easy intercept mark. Huddy now launches a long bomb down the line. That's not a bad kick. Still in the hands of the Sharks. Sharks go inside 50. Looking for Hamilman. Pushes off his man. Got handed ball. Couldn't take the mark though. Ball gets handballed back in board. Hamilman's there. Missed him. Shot on goal. Baker on the last line. Takes a good mark on the last line of defence.
Benson taking that shot on goal there off the side of the boot a little bit.
And again, all of a sudden this ground kicking from both sides has been pretty good in the third quarter. Not that one. Brock Aston, William came in, took the man out. Kick inside 50. Again, not the best of kicks. Hamilman's got it. Right foot snap for goal. That's another one. He moves to 98 for the year. First goal of the third quarter goes to the Sharks. 8-5-53 to 4-5-29. Just under 5 minutes played in the third quarter, Richo.
You summed it up all in one sentence and a half there, Kane. The field kicking and a few kicks we saw over those first few minutes were absolutely magnificent. And unfortunately, Fiddler trying to come inside there to Martin and just missed him by half a metre, and Redland-Victoria Point able to capitalise on that one. So, look, you know, you can't be unhappy with trying to take the game on, trying to bring the ball back through the middle. You know, looking for your star player to star player, but it can be costly if it doesn't work out.
Baker pushed back into defence. Campbell Aston's just roaming up and down between the arcs. That could be a holding free kick. Going to Rolls. Rolls to Brock Aston. Aston looking for Hamilman. Man in front. Should have taken the mark. Hamilman. Right foot snap on goal again on the last line. That would have been another goal to Hamilman. McGregor takes a good intercept mark. McGregor to Baker. Got to have a captain's knock. He's got to try and lift his team in this third quarter. Martin down the line. That's a bit better kick to Rook. Rook now. Back in board. Got over his man there. Number 31 and Stewart. Stewart. Now he's slowed the play down. Kicks right down the middle to full forward. Williams gets pushed off the ball. No free kick.
McFadgen there.
McFadgen takes an easy mark.
Great reward for the young fella. As we said, he's been working hard, putting on a lot of body contact, body pressure. It's great that he can put the mitts up and take a strong pack mark and hopefully steer this one through for Wilson Grange's fifth.
Well, this is to hit straight back at the start of this third quarter. Needs to kick it to stay within arm's reach. McFadgen comes in now. Right foot. That's a goal. Good comeback there from the Wilson Grange Gorillas. They moved to 5-5-35 to 8-5-53. 3 goals the margin, 18 points, 7.5 minutes played in the third quarter.
It was almost a replay of the first move out of the back line from Wilston Grange. Only this time Will Martin had the ball on the back flank, on the out, in between half-back flank and the wing there, and he was able to hit another beautiful pass, this time inside to, I believe it was Stewart.
Stewart was the one.
And see the difference between hitting that target and missing the target. So 2 goals have come from it, 1 against and 1 for. So, but we can certainly see what they're trying to do.
No, Williams got pushed off the footy, off the ball, but there was no free kick paid. Brock Aston got possession there, got gang tackled. Stoppage just left of centre. Umpire throws the ball up. Yagmore's in there. Not Yagmore, sorry, that was pack out. Here come Wilson Grange once more. I'm gonna keep stuffing that up all afternoon, so apologies to those two players. Adrian Williams, a little bit of funnel there. Still ends up with it though. Fazaldine trying to put pressure on. Ruben William back in board. High tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Oh, here we go. They're out here. Handball to Rolls. Rolls. The right foot kick towards half forward. Good mark taken.
Benson.
No one forward to the footy though. Waiting for Hamilman to get back. Kicks to Hamilman now. Good forward defensive mark there on the last line once more to Wilson Grange. McFadgen's out there. Great punch clear over the boundary line. Number 9.
Stallard.
That was Stallard. He hasn't had a lot of the footy, but again, being able to impact the contest.
Yeah.
Bring the ball to ground. No easy possessions when you're playing on Stallard.
No, one of the closest checking defenders we've got here playing in the QAFL. Mind you, Patrick Snell, great mark there in front of Hamilman earlier as
Snell
well.
was the one. He's had a pretty good afternoon considering.
Absolutely.
Hamilman's kicked 4, but Snell's been pretty good one-on-one. Speaking of which, Snell got hands the ball. There's a snap on goal.
Hamilman.
That's Hamilman. And guess what, ladies and gents? That's goal 99 for season 2023. We're 1 goal away. And we've only played 9 3/4 minutes into the third quarter. Can he do it, Richard?
Oh,
well.
You'd be a brave man to suggest that he can't today. He's obviously had a few opportunities, and he's such a sharpshooter. He gets the opportunities, and whether they're set shots after a mark or a couple today off the floor, which we've seen, he's very neat and tidy, whichever way it is. But look, more broadly though, they're maintaining that 4-goal lead. We just want the Wilston Grange Gorillas to keep working hard, keep in touch, keep eking away, and hopefully narrow that margin.
That four goal lead is not going to be enough, ladies and gents, going into that last quarter. Brock Aston got a handball out, but the ball's with the Gorillas. Ruben Williams going to intercept that one. William kicks the ball out wide, number 44 in O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan launches the ball down, no one really at home. 2-on-1. The one looks like he's going to win out. Yes, he does. Handball over the top. Got to get clear. Good tackle laid by O'Sullivan. That's on the ball.
Yeah, young Ned Rosenbrock trying to break the tackle there on O'Sullivan, and he's built like a fridge, I think it says in our notes, the young fella, but he O'Sullivan's certainly a seasoned campaigner.
That's a good
able to hold on.
Back into the corridor, leading up the ground. Couldn't take possession was Brown. That's Richardson, bumps off the pressure, got tackled. That's on the ball again. The pressure's going up from the Sharks at the start of this third quarter, Richo. They're right on song at the moment. Brock Aston kicks the ball down the line. That's okay. About 90 metres out. Number 51 in Annabelle. Kicks the ball long. Could this be Ed Hamilman's there? No mark taken. He's at the back of the pack. There's a bit of a hush over the crowd. Ruben Williams got it now. That's a better kick.
Horsfield with it this time.
Horsfield. Hamilman's just pushing to fall forward. Now, that was better entry, wasn't it? William just held the ball up long enough, dropped the eyes, hit the target.
Dropped the eyes, that's right.
Speaking of dropping the eyes, this is Yagmore now from about 70 out. Just sneaks it in. No, he doesn't. That's down the full.
A little bit wide, but how was the length on that? Hey?
Contact. Brilliant contact. Not the best execution. Speaking of execution, that's okay to Baker. McFadgen's just right in front of us here on this broadcast side. pointing for the footy. He's got to go up here, bring the ball to ground. Couldn't influence the contest. But guess who? Adrian Williams. That's dangerous. Oh, what an attempt at mark! Didn't take it. That would have been mark of the century. Play on, says the umpire. Here come the Gorillas. Kick inside 50, going back with a flight. Good mark. Number 4. That's Butterick.
And it was his brother who got it to him there. He was the release handball. Will Martin picked up the ball. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over that jump at the mark.
I'm trying to work out who went flying for that one, but we'll get back to that.
Look, it was either Oscar Stewart or it was Harry Wilson, one of the two. I think it was Oscar Stewart, number 31.
Jeez, he got up well and truly.
Adrian Williams went inboard, but Oscar Stewart was just creeping up behind the other player, the Redland-Vic player.
Butterick now kicking towards goal. Is that going to sneak in? Yes, it does. They're still within arm's reach, ladies and gents, in the third quarter. 14 minutes played. 9-5-59, Redland-Victoria point to Wilston Grange, 6-5-41. Back to that 3-goal margin, Richard.
Yeah, fantastic. And great to see both Buttericks getting involved there. Jesse Butterick, the inclusion this week in the forward line, hasn't been too bad today. He's done a few things. In the first, just thinking back on the first half, we hadn't called Joel Butterick all that much. Now we know he's a quality player, and with Will Martin getting his hands on the ball inside, same with Fiddler. We needed Joel Butterick to step up and start to, join the gang and also, and right there and then he did. He found his brother inside and great to see. So if they can continue that in this quarter, it'll be game on.
Now we've got Paco back in the ruck, and I believe that's number 19. That's Westenberg. No clear winner. Came off Westenberg's back. Someone burrowing in there.
Oh, it's Will Martin.
Will Martin, surprise, surprise.
The nice shiny blue boots today.
Definitely a brand new pair. As he gets the ball now, Munn.
They won't be brand new after today.
No, they won't. Ruben William overran the footy. This is Rolls, I believe.
Yep.
Kicks the ball out a little bit wider. Need the good bounce of the footy. Butterick was there. Ball bounced over his head. Chip towards half forward. Bit of a push. Umpire says yes.
Yeah, both umpires called that at the same time, so it's definitely there. We just saw Matthew Hambleton off the back line. He kicked it twice. You got 2 kicks in a row, mate. Don't see that all that often.
Murdoch looking for Hamilton. Goes up. What a grab!
Huddy.
Oh. What a grab from Huddy.
It looked like Hamilton, didn't it?
Jeez, you really have trouble trying to get those two, mixed up. Hamilton was definitely there, but I'm pretty sure Hamilton was the one that Huddy jumped on. Huddy. I felt the build-up for possibly kicking 100 for Hamilton.
Huddy's spoiling the party that time, but look, great mark. Let's not take anything away from that.
Huddy comes in now to get that goal back. Get it back out to 4 goals. That's a goal. First goal of the afternoon for Huddy. The big fellas had a pretty good afternoon, just seen behind that kick behind the play. But I tell you what, drifted forward there, that was a brilliant mark. Just going through some goal kickers actually too. You got Lamana Paco's kicked 1. Hamilman's kicked the 5. He's got 1 for the ton. Joshua Brown with 2. Matthews with 1. Huddy with 1. And for Wilston Grange, you got Butterick with 1. Munn with 1, McFadden with 1, Richardson 1, Dirksen 1, and Fazeldine 1. All single goal kickers for the Gorillas. As we're moving just over 17 minutes played.
Still that 4-goal margin, Kane. No matter what happens, it seems to be 3-4 goals.
They can't close that gap to sort of that 2-goal margin, can they, at the moment? As Huddy takes arguably mark of the year, gets the clearance out of the ruck. Ball drifting towards the boundary line, goes over for a boundary throw-in on the broadcast side. And half forward for the Sharks. Sort of man-on-man at the moment behind the footy. Got Richardson and Williams back here as the ball gets thrown in. Got the front position was Wilson Grange. Huddy, He's had the ball on the string in the last 2 minutes. Ball kicks forward. No mark taken. They're really under the pump now, Wilson Grange. Check side kick back in board. Guess who? It's Rolls. Rolls now. Kicks the ball inside 50. Almost got to Hamilman. Dropped the mark. Here comes some ball movement.
Bowls.
They might be out here through Butterick. Bowls to Butterick. Butterick over to Martin. Martin. Guess who? Yagmore was going to snack on that all day long. Good intercept mark. Comes back in board to Rolls. He's had a ball on a string this afternoon. This is Packout. Packout now chips the ball forward. Drops the mark. Ball rolls over for a boundary throw-in. And that was Horsfeld on that occasion.
But great ball movement there from Redland-Victoria point, transferring one side of the ground to the other. Yagmore read that ball coming in like an eye chart, didn't he? He saw it before anyone else.
Fazaldine had a bit of space on him too. The ball just had to be a little bit better to get to him. Yagmore just cut across. Good intercept mark. Huddy rips his opponent out of the way.
Yep. Umpire Jake Edgar saw that as clearly as we did up here. Just ripped Westerberg's jumper around the midriff.
Ball goes over the head of Williams. McFadgen is there. Oh, Yagmore put the pressure on. Kick towards the boundary line. That's out on the full. Just going to quickly go through. Didn't say this earlier. Henry Harris, field umpires. Rowan Smith, Jake Edgar. Deslin Jones, Rowan Mahoney, Nick Mabb, and Eliza Bushamble and Hudson Tollig. Good luck to the umpires. Apologies for not mentioning you guys earlier. All three groups of umpires this afternoon. Baker went off back of Yagmore's head. Bottom of that pack. Another stoppage on this broadcast side.
Heavily contested ball still in this third quarter. It's been similar game all day, to be honest.
Westenberg hacks the ball in. Got to bring the ball to ground. Got to push there. That's a free kick. It was a 2-on-1 and really didn't have to do it. Just put body contact on.
Dirksen was in great position, leading to the ball, leading up, the pack to the ball.
Exactly.
And he went to get into his delivery stride of jumping, and a little nudge there, definitely there. He's changed his number. He's gone from 28. I think he might add a little bit of blood on it after the after the half-time debacle there.
Bit of push and shove.
He's gone to number 8. Funnily enough, Ruben Williams changed from 19 to 38 as well. So maybe it was them two having a little
Dirksen, kick on goal. That's a major. And again, they close that margin. Back to, what are we looking at there? Back to 3 goals.
Back to 3. Their heart's in it. Wilson Grange, it really is.
They're not going away.
They're fighting hard. They are fighting hard. And as I said before, this elastic band just keeps stretching and then coming back, stretching and coming back.
That damn wall is still being maintained.
Yep. And
might have a couple of cracks in it, but at the moment it's holding strong.
Correct. And certainly 3 goals in today's sort of game is very manageable. We're just talking from the perspective that it's Redland-Victoria Point's home ground here. They're on the home deck. They're going to be hard to get past. So, we don't want to play that down. But certainly Wilston Grange are.
They're ranked second. They're ranked second at the end of the home and away. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to the Sharks.
Don't want to give those soft ones away.
Kicks the ball out wide. Got a bit of space there.
Annabelle.
McGregor needs to get back. Speaking of Hamilman, no, couldn't take that one. Geez, the crowd, every time he goes near the footy, they're screaming for a free kick or a paid mark.
Hamilman sort of looking up, light spread eagle on the ground, looking up, saying, "Where's me free kick?"
Just a little.
But Hugo Thew, who's given him 6 to 8 inches in that contest,
if not more.
It was 100 metres away, came, but it looked fair to me.
The closing speed was really good from the defence there, Wilson Grange.
I think they're getting a lot of advice from the Redland-Victoria Point supporter group.
Everyone's hanging on bated breath. Yep. Can Hamilman kick one more goal to reach the magical ton? Huddy took one off him before with a magnificent mark, brought the ball to ground. Umpire says, no opportunity. I'll come in and throw that one up. And again, still plenty of, Baker's out there trying to put his body on the line for his team. Ball gets hacked forward. That's a good mark taken. Fiddler again.
He's getting plenty of touches, Fiddler. He's very, very constructive.
Osborne was out this broadcast side. They bypassed him, went out the other way. That looks like Richardson.
No, McFadden again.
McFadden.
And into Martin.
Geez, he plays taller than he might look, McFadden. Martin. William looking to cut that off. Got just a fingernail on the ball, pushed it over the boundary line.
Yeah, Will Martin was looking for Oscar Stewart there, and again, it only just not enough on it. William was able to get a fingertip on it, but he certainly... the Gorillas are doing the right thing if they've got Fiddler and Martin kicking inside 50.
Got to get the ball in those two players' hands as Williams was there uncontested in the ruck. Ball gets pushed over for another boundary throw-in.
And I really have been so impressed with McFadden today. You mentioned it. I mean, he's a big guy. He's certainly almost key position height.
Nothing lost to ground level though. That's the thing with McFadden. He's still got plenty of speed.
Yeah. And want for the contest.
Exactly right. As speaking of want for the contest, Brock Aston got that one out. Got the extra number here. The Gorillas. Someone's got to bring that ball to ground. Again, McFadden was there. High flyer. Brought the ball to ground. Here's a chance for the Gorillas. Kick inside 50. Not the best. Got the out number here. Got to lay a tackle. That they do. Umpire comes in. Another stoppage.
Yeah, I think Wilson Grange were unlucky there. Dirksen looked to be held as they were charging out towards the ball.
Ball hits the deck. McFadden went up for the ruck. Could be holding the ball. Everyone's screaming on that far side of the ground.
Yeah, the umpire's getting plenty of advice from the Wilston Grange supporter group at that end.
They're holding their nerve at the moment, the umpires. Good work by all umpires at this stage. Ball gets pushed back from the contest. Good tackle laid. Now, again, that was a little bit of a sling tackle at the last moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just to put some fire back in the bellies of those Wilson Grange players on that far side.
And look, it was Fiddler on the end of the sling tackle.
He's been belted from pillar to post this afternoon,
tell you,
Fiddler.
He's not going to get up and just walk away from that. He's going to let them know about it. But I think we've spoken a few times. It was Butterick, I think, there.
Well, Packow pushed it out of the ruck, got tackled. Ball just dribbled out.
Yeah, could have been free kick against. Could have been dropping the ball.
And again, plenty going on behind the footy at the moment. And again, nice little short kick.
Ends up in the hands of Will Martin.
Now, Will Martin, arguably Wilson Grange's best player for season 2023. He needs to kick this goal. They've been hovering around this 3-goal margin all afternoon, Wilson Grange. Can he get the margin to 2 goals?
I'll be backing him from here, Kane.
Martin comes in now with the blue boots. Kick towards goal, and he's pushed it left. Now, every time in season 2023, you give them a rap just before they kick the footy. It seems to backfire more times than not.
I wasn't counting on that little bit of breeze that pushed it left there, mate.
Came up all of a sudden.
Yeah, I walked out there at half-time, mate, and there was pretty much nothing.
No, there was you're definitely right there. Yagmore from full back. That's a massive kick. Ball comes to ground. Where are the roving players? Stoppage. Umpire comes in once more on that far side wing. Plenty of numbers around this footy. Huddy launches a kick towards Hamilman. 1 to go for the magical ton. It's a 2-on-1 here, though. Oh, look at Hamilman go with the defensive pressure. That's great work from the big man. Ball gets punched clear. Another stoppage. That crowd is going ballistic over that far side of the ground.
So young Gordon with a bit of poise in the back line. Going one way, going another way, but then the spoil there. Hugh Fiddler just making the Redland-Victoria point player earn it.
Oh, great tackle there from the Sharks. No free kick. Brock Aston trying to get his hands on the footy. Handballs it out. Here's a kick towards Hamilman. 1-on-1. Has he got it? No, says the umpire. Yes, he does. Holding the man. Richo spotted that very quickly.
Yeah, the outer zone umpire at centre half forward called that one. The umpire who was down probably in the wrong spot to see the jumper pull, because the Wilston Grange player was blocking that and was reaching back and holding Hamilman. So it was certainly the outer zone umpire who saw the jumper coming apart.
Hamilman for 100 goals in season 2023 comes in. Right foot kick. There it is! The magical ton to Matty Hamilman. Look at the crowd running onto the ground, getting around the big fella. We've played almost 29 minutes. This might go on for a little bit. We might have a little bit of a delay. And, geez, when you think about Matty Hamilman, 100 goals, congratulations.
Yeah, fantastic. The crowd coming out. We love this in Australian rules football.
And look at the umpire went down, grabbed the ball, sprinted back, ran through the crowd, and all of a sudden the crowd dispersed very quickly indeed.
Yeah, no, look, very well behaved. That was well done. All the crowd come on, have that little bit of celebration like we allow and we like to see, but they've gotten off the ground just as quick. That's the quickest exit of a crowd from a footy ground I've ever seen before in my life.
Geez, that wasn't going to happen at the SCG when Buddy kicked his 1,000th, was it?
Yep.
Yep. That was brilliant from the crowd, getting off the ground that quickly.
I reckon we lost 30 seconds there, Kane.
I reckon it was more like 20. It was a very quick celebration, but well done to Matty Hamilman. He'll take a breath of fresh air after getting that achievement done in the prelim final. As here come the Sharks once more. Hamilman's kicked 6 this afternoon. 100 goals for the year. Brock Aston gets pushed off. Out of play. And again, that push and shove isn't going away. Heading towards three-quarter time. Redland-Victoria point, 11-5-71 to Wilston Grange, 7-6-48. As the Sharks once more come out of trouble. Ball gets over the back towards centre forward. McGregor overran the footy. Handball over the top. Here's Huddy, kicks it off the ground. There's another one to the Sharks. Huddy looked like Usain Bolt running after that ball, going into the goal square. Didn't have many people chasing him.
Yeah, no, funny how players, people find half a yard or even a yard on that occasion if they see a chance to kick a goal. But look, we've been focusing on the last few minutes, the Hamilton 100 and everything, but 2 more goals on the board to Redland-Victoria point late in this quarter, and we've gone out to the 5-goal margin now. So,
geez, they got back, didn't they?
Oh, look, yes.
They had a chance at Martin missing that goal down the other end, and all of a sudden, the Sharks have gone bang, bang in the space of a couple of minutes.
Now, interesting here, Redland-Victoria point had already been provided a warning. The
666.
Or the 666, and that was the second breach of that, so they got the free kick.
Nixon Smith launches the ball in. Oh, Fazaldine overran the footy. Pick it up, young bloke. Bad luck. And the Sharks come out of trouble once more. This is an area where they've been really good this afternoon.
The Stewart handball was to the bootstrings, unfortunately, so Fazaldine overran it.
Look at Brock Aston tracking this ball. And he's forward to the footy. Do you want to use him? No. Again, looking for Hamilman. Good effort there by the defence of Wilston Grange. Yes. McGregor's down there.
Snell just as the siren, I think, but Snell just a fantastic job there, closing down the space again. It looked like Hamilman had all the advantage of the ball coming in, but Snell was still able to get there.
Well, three-quarter time here. Preliminary 2023, preliminary final live QAFL action from the Shark Tank. on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Redlands got the advantage at the moment. 12-5-77 to 7-6-48. Who will come out on top to earn the right to play the Aspley Hornets in next week's QAFL Grand Final for season 2023? We'll be back in a few moments to find that out.
Yep, when you're ready.
And we're back here, ladies and gents. 3-quarter time from the Shark Tank home of the Redland-Victoria Point Sharks. They've got the advantage at the moment, 12-5-77 to 7-6-48 for a spot. Who can get on top to earn that right to play the Aspley Hornets next week in the 2023 QAFL Grand Final? My name's Kane Browning. I'm still joined in the box by Adrian Richardson. And Richo, what happened in that third quarter, you reckon?
Yeah, look, it's just been such a close contest all day, and unfortunately for Wilston Grange, but fortunately for Redland-Victoria Point, they were able to get us a couple of goals on the board late. And look, it's a 5-goal, close enough to a 5-goal margin now, so it's going to be tough for the Gorillas. But what do they need? What do they need to do? They need to dry up the forward entries for Redland-Victoria Point, which means their midfield. It's got to come from their midfield. We've been calling some names all day. Fiddler, Martin. We need every other player in there to get involved. We need that. I think they've got a lot of ex-Nightcliff players. They've got Dirksen and they've got Bowles and McGregor and the Buttericks, all led from Trent Melville, who's not out there today. But it's a recruiting decision, so that's where it's got to come from.
No, you're definitely right there. Westonbrook probably got the tap out. Huddy's been brilliant in the middle of the ground. Speaking of Huddy, lays a pretty good tackle. Rolls is there once more. He's arguably best on ground this afternoon. Speaking of best on ground, Campbell Aston shot out to Brock. Brock back to number 35 in Hambleton. He's been okay this afternoon as well. Ball gets rebounded back. Ruben Williams been pretty good down there across half back this afternoon. He's had a bit of the footy. 3-on-1 there. The one ends up with it though. Here comes Fiddler. Fiddler kicks the ball inside 50. Is it going to stay in? No, it doesn't. It was either a mark or around the full. Adrian Williams has the ball now. Not the best of kicks. Rolls. Rolls has got the ball on a string this afternoon, ladies and gents. Number 44.
O'Sullivan.
This is O'Sullivan. He's been okay too. Speaking of okay, Brock Aston. He's been a solid contributor this afternoon, like he has been all year long. Not the best of handballs. Really didn't need to give it. Good tackle laid. That could have been a throw. No free kick paid. O'Sullivan. That could have been another hole in the ball. No free kick paid. Umpire was in a good spot to call either one of those. Says, give it to me, guys. I'm going to throw that one up.
Yeah, nice and tight in the clutches there. So well done to the Gorillas holding that one up.
And again, you got Baker at the bottom of that pack there. It's been a pretty good captain's game from Baker this afternoon. He hasn't dropped his head at all this afternoon. As again, players trying to push the ball forward here. Hamilton, the milestone man this afternoon, already kicked the 6 goals required for 100. Brock Aston, left foot snap, just offline. Brock Aston celebrating like it's a goal.
He was too. He must have been close, but the goal umpire was confident in what he saw.
Jeez, he almost channeled Tony Liberatore there, Brock Aston. As again, the Gorillas coming out of trouble. McFadgen's got the ball now, looking for support. Handball's back. A little bit of a fumble was Martin. Got tackled. That's got to be gone. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think the first time today that he's been tackled and held. It was a good tackle by Campbell Aston.
Jeez, Campbell Aston has been massive playing off that wing this afternoon.
He has, underrated probably in the
ball.
In the scheme of things.
Ends up towards Hamilton. Look at Brown. Brown, right foot snap. How's this ball going to bounce? Just to the right. Another minor score, but it increases the lead.
I thought he'd read the green again properly there. Had it talking to it on its way to goal. Brown thought it was going to kick left.
McGregor coming out of trouble to Baker. Baker goes back to McGregor. He's got a bit of open space here. Launches the ball towards half forward, one-on-ones. Williams is there, just punches the ball towards the boundary line. Fiddler's there as well. A little bit unlucky not to get the free kick.
We haven't seen McGregor in the ruck as much today. Westerberg's carried most of that load.
Well, we saw Richardson as well,
occasionally,
possibility.
but throughout the year, McGregor's also been moved through the ruck, but he's been pretty much a key back today.
I think that extra height from the Sharks, that could have been high as well. No, says the umpire, that's holding the ball. Brock Aston to O'Sullivan. Just holding the ball up here. Gets called to play on. Rook's after him. Lays the tackle. One-on-one here. Good high-flying attempt at Mark. Mark paid for Wilston Grange.
Is that McFadden? It was.
Yep.
What a great mark.
Rook kicks the ball inside 50. That's a good mark. Dirksen again. He's been a bit like last week. He hasn't had a ton of the ball, but he's taken some solid contested marks. Had a number of shots on goal.
Yeah, no, he's obviously got the talent. He's listed on the Lions list. As I've mentioned a few times today, no luck with injury this year. Got injured after about round 1 or 2 and spent most of the year on the sidelines. But certainly showing us he can get his hands on the ball in the forward 50 today.
Every shot on goal from here needs to go through. Dirksen. And that's not going to go through. Huddy's down there, launches the ball, no mark paid. Reuben William at the base of the pack. That's holding the man, says the umpire. Reuben William was just about out and running. It's going to go back to Huddy. He's been massive this afternoon, Huddy.
He has. He's been good.
The dominant big man on the ground for sure. Huddy now goes down the line. Looking for Packow out there. Good pack mark. Lamana Packow again goes down the line. Doesn't really kick to anyone. Goes up for the footy. Tries to claim the mark. No, says the umpire. An extra number here for the Gorillas. Looking for Rook, but guess who?
Lamana Packow.
That's Packow behind the footy. And if it hasn't been Packow, it's been Huddy. And if it's not Huddy, it's someone like William. All those guys have stand up beautifully this afternoon. Trying to earn that spot in the grand final next week. Left foot kick inside 50. Hamilman's there. Couldn't take the mark. Ball hits the deck. And again, the pressure now. That could be over the shoulder. Yes, it is, says the umpire.
Well, that's unlucky. Young Harry Wilson, he had the ball in front of him. He was knocking it in front. He was hot, under pressure, and it seems like Aston might have just got his body and his head in the right position to wear a little bit of that oncoming pressure.
Geez, an inch one way, you get a forearm to the top of the head, don't you? Brock Aston just managed to get his head in the right spot, not to get completely cleaned up there. Well done to Brock. Look at that crowd on the other side, screaming at him. Left foot kick now, Brock Aston isn't going to even make it. Hamilman gave a nice little shove to his direct opponent, trying to push him under the ball. Ball went over the back.
Just clumsy enough not to be paid as a free kick.
Just clumsy enough.
Just clumsy enough.
You're not clumsy enough to give away the free kick, but you are clumsy enough to knock your direct opponent on his backside. Ball gets thrown back in. Here's a chance now for Wilson Grange. And again, bit of the story of the tape this afternoon. Bit fumbly in dangerous spots. That ball's going to get pushed over, is it? No, says the umpire. Ball gets pushed back in. Hamilman's got it now. And he decides to get pushed over the boundary line. Another boundary throw in. Left forward pocket for the Sharks. 7 minutes 40 played in the last quarter, Richo.
The heat's on. The heat is on. Both teams know this is...
Huddy. Sorry to interrupt, Richo.
No.
Launches the ball up high.
It's do or die now, mate. Do or die.
Nixon Smith. Reuben William. Intercepts. Decides to take off. Little short kick. Play on, says the umpire. Got rolls. Rolls. Smart play. Just that chip across the ground.
Making a signal that he's going to go for goal here. He's going to be kicking it from 56.5.
56 point. You want to get the tape out for that one, Richard?
Who is it? I'll go with. Is it Billy Johnson out there?
Well, I think it's Billy Johnson, but he's right. Unfortunately, he's right on that line where you can't see his number. Launches. Geez, that's not a bad kick towards goal. Huddy was there, brought the ball to ground, and 3 Wilston Grange opponents on him. That's a good out kick out there. They've got to go at every opportunity now. Fiddler was there, gets intercepted by Yagmore. He's been solid contributor down there. No free kick, says the umpire. Ball rolling around. No clear possession winner there. Fiddler was there, got the handball out. Kick towards, and guess who? It's Adrian Williams, who decides to play on. Gets over the back, ball rolling around, trying to get the handball in. Now, what's the umpire called it? Dumping tackle, says the umpire. Free kick going to the Sharks. They don't want to lose the plot here, Wilston Grange. They've done so well in season 2023 to get to this position. And Brown, right up the ground, takes a good intercept mark. Goes to William. William, handball over the top. Oh, don't argue, it was O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan now looking for Hamilman.
Hamilman's there. Westerberg over the top, just sitting back as the
kick behind the play. O'Sullivan's been another good contributor this afternoon for Redland-Victoria Point. As Huddy got the tap out looking for Rolls. Rolls gets tackled instantly by Rosenbrook.
He's had a great game. Jack Rolls.
Arguably best on ground for me, Rolls. It's, you know, there's been a lot of contributors, but when the game was up for grabs early on, it was Rolls who definitely was the number one ball winner. Speaking of ball winning, that's a great mark by Horsfeld. That was a brilliant mark going back with the fly of the ball.
He had the momentum. Was the one, you know, running at pace and just launched and was half a metre above everyone else there.
Now it's 31 points. He decided to kick the ball pretty quickly. Has that come back enough?
Has he missed it or has he kicked a goal? No, he's missed it.
No, he's missed it.
Yeah.
Now, geez, from the moment he marked that, it seemed like a split second after he took the mark, he kicked the ball for goal. I don't know why he didn't take his time there.
I've just learned a lesson there, Kane. I'm not going to put my head down here next time.
No. Goes straight up the middle. Plays right in the hands of the Sharks defence. Williams wasn't paid the mark. Here's a chance. Dirksen again. Dirksen now. Plays on. Right foot snap. Rolling towards goal. Hits the post.
He needed a second bounce on the ball. It only got the one bounce. It didn't bend to the right. It needed to bounce that second time.
You want to... Oh, geez, the marking capability of both these sides this afternoon has been brilliant.
There's one that we've talked about earlier, Joel Butterick, just building his game.
Joel Butterick, the back end, you know, we're only 12 minutes into this last quarter.
They need one here though, Kane.
31 points the margin. Launches a kick towards goal. Williams is there. Couldn't get boot on ball. Here's a chance. Snap on goal. I believe that Fazeldine down there, or it might have been
Stewart.
Stewart's been okay. He hasn't been great, but he's been okay this afternoon. He came sort of a late change.
Still trying to get his oxygen back after being so high earlier.
Oh, well, he's got frostbite. That's his problem after that attempt at mark. Here's a chance again for the Gorillas.
Williams,
no. Oh, Williams, yes. Little tap on the shoulder from Richard. Thank you very much.
Could see that happening a mile out, Kane.
They're out here through O'Sullivan. He's got plenty of room in front of him. Brown's trying to work back inside attacking 50. But Hamilman, and that transition ball from defence down that far side wing into attack. Plenty of options there, and Hamilman ends up on the end of the good work.
And look, it's what happens when you're pressing hard. You're trying to put everything into getting on the score on the board. Obviously, all it takes is one sort of break, one counter attack. Ends up in the hands of the premier goal kicker of the competition. And at the 13-minute mark of the last quarter, this could be the first nail in the coffin, I think.
Hamilman. Right foot kick. Is that come back enough? I think it has. That's goal 101 for Matt Hamilman. in season 2023. As the music blares once more, they increase that lead. It's 36 points the margin, 13-8, 86 to 7-8, 50. We've played just under 14 minutes in the last quarter. And Richo, where does Wilston Grange go from here? I mean, look, it's a 6-goal margin.
Look, it's no secret. I mean, they've just got to get the ball forward and they've got to kick goals, and that's what the difference has been. I think all day reflecting on the game is that Wilston Grange are doing so much hard work. Probably had the same amount of inside 50s, but the ease with which Redland-Victoria Point have been able to capitalise on their goals has probably been the difference.
No, I'd probably agree with you on that point, Richo, as Westernbrook tried to get it out. Packow was there. Here come the Sharks once more. Handball back in board. Blind turn. Good tackle laid by Wilston Grange. Pushed off the ball there. And again, Munn just roaming here. Hamlin's got it now. Kicks the ball back. That's a good contested mark. Play on, says the umpire. And we've got the push and shove in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, it's no surprise to see Murdoch involved there. I don't think there's much in it, just a bit of push and shove. But one of the non-controlling umpires keeping a close eye on that.
Umpire called the ball play on, so balled it up here.
Oh,
that is so bad. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. That's got dangerous written all over that tackle. Just slung him into the fence. Geez, the cameraman down there sitting down almost got his head taken off by a boot or two.
Yeah, it's a fine line, those sort of tackles, and unfortunately we've talked about Hugh Fiddler's tackle pressure and his ability to accelerate into the tackle. We just don't want to see that near the boundary line, though. So, look, a deserved free kick there, and probably pretty fortunate that something worse didn't happen.
No, Hosfeld has ended up with it. Free kick. Right foot kick towards goal. Isn't going to get there. Players go up. Ball hits a deck. The Gorillas still trying their hearts out this afternoon. Looking for Fazaldine. Packow got it. Launch kick.
The old reverse torp out of there.
Out on the full. Hamilman was there claiming the mark. No, said the umpire. Ball's in the hand of Bowles, who's had a pretty solid 2023. Speaking of solid, tried to break the tackle there. Going back and forth, looking for McFadden. Takes the mark now.
McGregor's loose.
Dirkson's there as well. McFadden decides to go towards goal, right to the line. William was there coming back. Williams ends up with it. Back in board. Now, this bloke's had a really solid afternoon. Hambleton. I've loved his game this afternoon across half-back as well. Brock Aston. Handballs back to Rolls. Rolls. Goes to Stephen. Stephen now holding the ball up. He's had a fair bit of the footy as well. Goes back to
Annabelle.
Thank you very much, Richard.
It's all right. I know it's 80 plus metres over there, Kane.
I've got 4 eyes and I'm really starting to struggle.
Aston back to Annabelle inside. Just controlling play there. Redland-Victoria Point into the middle of the ground. Over to you.
Look at the corridor now. Decides to hold the ball up though. Hunkin comes out wide to Adrian Williams. Another mark. Williams. Campbell Aston runs his full measure. Kicks towards goal. No one there. Hamilman brought the ball to ground. Brown with a tackle. Just dropped the footy. No free kick, says the umpire. Looking for, guess who? Adrian Williams. Done the same thing he's been doing all year. Another intercept mark. Goes across the ground. And another mark taken to Annabelle.
Just the chief leaning into his opponent and shifting him under the ball, and particularly when it's a smaller player like Oscar Stewart. Williams has done that 100 times this year, maybe more.
But that's the role he likes to play. He likes to be that roaming intercept defender. He doesn't really like the one-on-one stuff. But he did well in that one-on-one contest. He's just explaining to the young man, geez, you got to do better than that next time. Kick on goal. Isn't going to get there. Went through the hands of Hamilton down there, minus score.
It would have been fascinating to hear what that little
Conversation
was about. Yeah. Oh, you pushed me. No, mate. It's called,
Body-
called leaning. It's called leaning into it.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. He lent him right under the drop of the ball there, Williams. And again, McGregor. He's done okay, but just hasn't had the ball enough in his hands. But here he is again. Left foot kick inside 50. Ruben Williams against Richardson. Brought the ball to the ground. Richardson, little check side kick. Ball rolls over the line for a boundary throw-in.
I think there's a perfect example right there, Kane, of the difference in capitalising on those forward opportunities. The ball goes in. Ideally, Richardson takes that grab there, but Ruben Williams just able to upset it enough. It turns into a ball in.
No, good effort there. Ball into deck once more. And again, that's one thing that hasn't let up is that tackling pressure from the Sharks this afternoon. Minus score. Wilson Grange moved to 7-9-51. Trailing Redland-Victoria point 13-9-87.
Not throwing in the towel, the Gorillas. Right then it was Daniel Bowles getting into the contest, when he's been in the back line all game so far. But they're throwing doing one last roll with the dice on it here, the Gorillas.
O'Sullivan, he's had a ton of the ball in the second half. Again, another one of those role players who's done nothing wrong this afternoon. Some of these players arguably now trying to earn their spot in next week's grand final. Yagmore's out here.
There's the release after a few chip passes again. That's been the game plan all day.
Yagmore
out of the back line.
Launches the ball towards half forward. That's good defending. Number 5. That's due. And realistically, that last line defence for Wilson Grange has been pretty solid this afternoon, Richo. Yes, Hamilton's kicked 7 goals, but he's had to get the ball at ground level a number of times to kick those. So, they haven't been a massive disappointment this afternoon, even though the score is 36 points in arrears. They can hold their head up for their contribution this afternoon.
Absolutely.
As the ball gets thrown in, Westerberg.
So, and this is what happens. Lamana Pacquiao just parks himself underneath the fall of the ball, and the only way you can move him is if you wrap your arms around him and throw him out of the way. And
get the Mack truck on the ground and knock him over.
Umpire Jake Edgar all over that one right there.
Pacquiao. Brock Aston's just roaming here. This could be a great finish to the afternoon for Aston. Didn't get the accuracy quite right. Hamilton was there. Kicked the ball back in play. That'd be a mark if he'd taken it. No, says the umpire. Kick on goal.
Benson.
He's
worked hard today, Dean Benson.
No, he has worked extremely hard.
Hasn't had the same statistics with disposals, numbers as others, but certainly kept the ball in his space there.
Now, Hamilton was the one there too. Right on the goal line. He basically kicked the ball soccer style back in the field.
Away from the goal, which
away from goal.
You don't normally see that. It's obviously unexpected.
Back in the field of play.
Yep,
ended up in the hands of Benson, who pushed off an opponent, almost got caught. Right foot snap on goal. 5 metres out directly in front. Yep. Never going to miss.
2 or 3 efforts there from Benson to keep the ball in his area, and then as he was being slung around, he was able to get the boot on and sailed straight over the goal umpire's head. Hat. Is he wearing a hat? Yes, he is wearing a hat.
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Gets right up there. Was Westerberg pleading for the umpire. Felt like he got tunnelled. No, said the umpire. Play on. Wilson Grange coming out of trouble once more. Here come the Sharks. Left foot kick on goal.
Johnson likes it.
Johnson! Brown was on the goal line, put the shepherd on. Now, was that Johnson 26?
Yes.
William Johnson.
Now, what's I know, Redland-Victoria Point now opened it up to an 8-goal lead, but it's very interesting what's going on in the centre right at the moment. We've got both ruckmen after that last contest there, where Lamana Pacquiao parks himself under the ball. Westerberg jumps up. You call it a tunnel. They call what they say the zone under where the ball is falling. You're allowed to park yourself there. So one of the ruckmen was talking to one umpire about what he did. The other was talking to the other. They're trying to work out, am I allowed to do that? Isn't that a free? Is that a tunnel? Is it a shepherd?
What's the rule for the next contest they were trying to work out?
Correct.
As Pacquiao almost took the legs out. Oh, that's danger signs for Redland-Victoria Point. Yeah. Pacquiao holding. Ooh. Is that a shoulder? We'll keep an eye on that, ladies and gents. He's pulled up very sore in the middle of the ground. Play on. Oh, high-flying mark. Paid to Williams.
Williams, yep.
Who's all of a sudden got cramp. Williams now. Richo, you keep an eye on Pacquiao. I'll keep an eye on the play.
Yeah, I think it's his midriff. So, although what is he doing?
He's holding that left shoulder,
lower wrist area. No, he's not going off.
No,
he's holding his chest. No idea, mate. It could be both.
head and shoulders, knees and toes. Right, as we're going to the back half, almost red time here in the final quarter. It looks like it's going to be Redland-Victoria Point versus the Aspley Hornets in next week's QAFL Grand Final.
Right. I'll diagnose it as a stinger.
A stinger?
It's a stinger.
Okay. Well, at this point, it looks like Pacquiao's going to come off the ground. That's probably a smart move. Wrap that man in cotton wool for next week. They definitely need him next week as the ball gets hacked towards Wilston Grange's goal. Minus score. They move to 7-10. 52 to Redland-Victoria Point, 15-9-99. Speaking of breaking the ton, they're 1 point away. Almost 26 minutes played in the last quarter. Yagmore launches a ball from fullback. Huddy's there trying to get to the drop of the ball. Almost took the mark. Almost threw that one out. Ball gets pushed over the line.
Hosfeld's been sneaky good today. Hosfeld has been. He's done a fair bit of hard work around the ball. Apart from missing that goal just a short time ago that we both had our eyes down marking it in the record. But anyway, but he's been, as I said, sneaky good.
Brock Aston hacks the ball. That's down the full. Westerberg's definitely not happy with the umpires in this last quarter. He's had plenty to say behind the footy there. It's like, well, if he's going to hold on to me like that, can you give me something?
Let the gladiators go, I reckon. Right, all rucks do it. They get one, they don't get one. Let them go at it.
We've got Callum Baker here, captain of Wilson Grange. Launches the ball towards half forward. Richardson trying to get to the drop of the ball. Rook launches the ball towards full forward. 1-on-1. Fiddler's there. Couldn't take the mark.
Great contest there, Fiddler and Yagmore. Both players with plenty of tricks.
Well, they've got a bit of an overlap going here. They've got a ton of room. Give it to O'Sullivan. No. And again, look at the run and carry here from the Sharks towards half forward. Right foot. That's down the ground. Free kick. And again, a little bit of ill discipline, like earlier in the day. But realistically, Richo, you get to this point of the afternoon. Unfortunately, you've lost the game. You always reach that point where you realise you're probably going to lose. That discipline can drop a couple of percent. And
look, just taking a little bit of frustration out that time. I don't think Will Martin.
Nothing untoward.
Will Martin's one of the most disciplined footballers in our competition here. So just a little bit of frustration on young number 51, Daniel Annable. And the free kick got paid, and I think we've got Dean Benson here looking to finish off his hard work all day today.
As the siren goes, kick right on the siren here, full time at the Shark Tank as the crowd goes wild. Plenty of players here. Shaking hands, Wilston Grange. A noble effort.
52.
50
52 point
Oh,
victors.
yes. 52-point winners. Thank you very much, Richo. Redland-Victoria points, 16,905 to Wilston Grange, 7,1153. Noble effort from Wilston Grange in the finals this year. Unfortunately, step 3 was too much of a leap for them to get a spot in the grand final. Redland-Victoria point has gone up, and Richo, who do you think have been the best players this afternoon?
Yeah, look, commendable effort from both teams, particularly Wilston Grange today. As you say, they've been up for a few weeks now. They were on a 4-game winning streak coming into today, but they came up against an outfit today that were on the rebound from their match against Aspley last week. And, you know, Redland-Victoria point, they've been one of the top 2 teams all year, so they just didn't want to miss the opportunity on getting into that grand final today for them. I'd say, you know, they had winners all across the park. But I'd say if I had to narrow it down, I'd be giving Jack Rolls the 3 votes today. Certainly involved heavily in the first half of the game, third quarter as well. Might have quietened off, but obviously the job was done in those first 3 quarters. So Jack Rolls is just quality every time he touches the ball. I'd probably sneak Will Martin in there for 2 votes from the opposition. Again, a very similar type of player in terms of, you know, his quality when he gets the ball. You know he's going to use it and do something with it. So he was tireless again today and has been all year. And third for Redland-Victoria point, the 1 vote, I'll go along with you. I'll go with Campbell Aston today.
Hang on. Sorry, Richo, to interrupt. 7:10:52 says the goal umpires.
Turns a 52 into a 53-point margin for Redland-Victoria point. So, yeah, Campbell Aston, you know, covered. I'd love to see his reading of how far he ran today, but up and down the wing.
Between the arcs, he was huge.
And, you know, releases a lot of pressure by finding those extra yards and getting his hands on the ball, and probably one of the best games I've seen him play this year. Not that I've seen all their games, but yeah, no, so it certainly was a good effort by him. Look, there were others. Yeah, as I called, Horsfield was good. I thought Billy Johnson, number 26 on the wing, did a great job. Hamilman's kicked 7, so, you know, he's obviously been good up there as well.
He's broken the ton as well.
Luke O'Sullivan, another who I probably saw, you know, plays the best game I've seen him play for Redland-Victoria point. Lamana Pacquiao, yeah, we could go on and on and on. So, but you know, they're going to obviously have to reload during the week this week, up against Aspley again next week, who were very comfortable last week in taking care of them. So they've got a lot of ground to make up, but they're there now. Well, anything can happen.
Well, thank you, Richo, for your contribution this afternoon. We're all set for the 2023 QAFL Grand Final, which will be coming to you from the beautiful Cooperoo next week. It's going to be the Aspley Hornets versus the Redland-Victoria Point Sharks. My name's Kane Browning. We'll join you then for a massive day of grand final football. We'll see you then.